James Jones and Masai Ujiri having a discussion in the back about ping pong, chess. No, they're having a discussion about OG Anunoby. 6'7", 232, making $17.3 million a year. Multiple years left on his contract. Very promising young career. The most coveted trade asset out there, next to Fred VanVleet and John Collins, and of course a couple others, obviously Bogdanovich. But OG Anunoby, seems like everybody is wanting this guy on their team, and rightfully so. This guy can play, he can defend, he can do everything. And my man Windy is dying to talk right now, so I'll let him talk. Talk, Windy.
I would like to see OG Anunoby get traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, one of the most valuable things that could be traded between now and June is the New Orleans Pelicans first round pick. And you may say, why would that be? Because the Pelicans are going to be in the playoffs. That pick has attached to it swap rights with the LA Lakers from the Anthony Davis trade. So if you trade for the New Orleans pick, you can swap it, which you almost certainly would, for the Lakers, which could be a lottery pick.
Instead of Jackson Hayes, let's put, I got a list of guys. Herb Jones.
This kid is amazing. Herb Jones is unreal.
I want Herb Jones instead of Jackson Hayes, and I'll take Dyson Daniels.
No, that's a pretty interesting trade scenario. Dyson Daniels, Herb Jones in the first pick for OG Anunoby. I don't know. I just think that's quite a bit steep of a price. You can ask any New Orleans Pelicans fans out there. A versatile two-way player, I get it. Can do a little bit of everything. Defend, shoot threes. Not a number 2. Maybe a number 1. But we'll see about that. But, he's averaging 16.9 assists per game. And I believe it's about 5.5 assists per game. Same thing as last year. He does get injured quite a bit, though. Like right now, he's off with a wrist injury. He hasn't played, obviously, as you can see in the Phoenix game and the Portland game. He never played in those games. But he still is a legit player, right, for any contender out there. And my man Ian wants to talk. Go ahead to Ian.
Multiple first-round picks going out from the Knicks to get OG. And a lot of it, I think, now depends on where Toronto is, what they want to do at the deadline. There's going to be a lot of speculation about what they want to do. Are they going to trade someone like OG Anunoby, a very good player, core to their roster, and you would think a big part of their future plans. But if they decide that, hey, this is not the team that's going to go and compete for an NBA title, ultimately, I could see Masai Ujiri going to blow things up because he's not shy about doing everything with the idea of winning an NBA title. So, Fred VanVleet, free agent potentially, I could see how he would think, hey, it's time to blow this thing up. So at the very least, something to keep an eye on if you're a Knicks fan.
So pretty interesting. Grizz might be interested as well. So with the Knicks, they offered 3 first-round picks for this guy a couple weeks ago. And you obviously saw James Jones at the top of the video talking to Masai Ujiri, obviously about OG Anunoby. Now, every team wants this guy, right? The main people that are interested are basically the Phoenix Suns, the Pelicans, and the New York Knicks. New York Knicks, they lost last night to the Lakers, so they might want to revisit that plan. And at the end of the day, it's just, this guy is only going to help your roster. And I get it, this is a steep price. You got 3 first rounders, or you got the Pelicans package, or you got basically the Suns, right? Now, let's get something straight. He is not asking out of Toronto. He's not asking out of Toronto. He's happy with his role in Toronto, maybe not, but he's just taking it all in stride because he knows this is a business. Now, with the whole trade scenario coming down, it's only a matter of time before something gives. And with that something, it's those three teams that are knocking. And the question is, who do you open the door for? So basically, there's no issue of him playing in Toronto. It's just a matter of Masai Ujiri deciding where the organization is going. Obviously, they were 2-2 in their road trip on the Western Conference. Not much traction in the Eastern Conference standings for the Toronto Raptors, but Toronto Raptors obviously got to decide where they want to go with this guy. And basically, Knicks and Suns are interested. I get it. But like I said, Pelicans, to me, have the most enticing offer. They got the Lakers' first-round pick in that Anthony Davis trade. That is by far one of the best picks in all of NBA right now. And it's only a matter of time before somebody bites. So, OG Anunoby, one of the most coveted trade targets out there. Let's take a look at Phoenix Suns. To me, Phoenix Suns trade package is okay. It's not the greatest. I don't see Toronto Raptors wanting any of these guys. They could want their draft picks, but I could see other enticing trade packages out there. That's just me. That's my opinion. But in terms of Phoenix, if they wanted to, they could give up picks. They could give up Cameron Payne and Landry Shamet. Now let's take a look at the Pelicans. Pelicans, I believe, they have the most enticing trade package out there. Just as Wendy said, they have that Lakers top pick. And with the Pelicans, they could give up Jackson Hayes, Dyson Daniels, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, or Marshall, or maybe Jose Alvarado. Any one of those guys. They have the best trade package. That just if it goes down, if both sides agree, right? Now, let's take a look at the New York Knicks. So the Knicks offer 3 first-rounders. And to match salary with the 17 that he's got, 18 next year, and a player option for the following year, you could give up Obi Toppin. You could give up Emmanuel Quickly and the first 3 first-rounders, maybe. I don't know. But the Knicks have a pretty interesting trade package as well. So at the end of the day, Phoenix, Pelicans, and the Knicks all want this guy. So it'll be interesting. February 9th, trade deadline. Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. Another fine day. Let's talk about Toronto Raptors taking on the Phoenix Suns. Now, why am I talking about these guys? Phoenix obviously won that game, if you saw it. But that's not the issue here. That's not the main headline here. The main headline is the fact that James Jones and Masai Ujiri both went to the back to talk. Now, possibly, could it be something related to the trade deadline? You're damn right. I know they were talking about ping pong, playing chess or anything like that. They're clearly talking about either Fred VanVleet or OG Anunoby. Maybe even Gary Trent Jr. Those are the 3 top players that the Toronto Raptors have that could be traded before February 9th. And it's just around the corner. They're already talking. OG Anunoby is coveted by the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks. And Fred VanVleet, if you saw the video that I just recently posted, he's coveted by everybody. You know what I mean? They're Lakers, Mavericks, Pelicans. It doesn't stop. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like, what do you do, right? James Jones has a decision to make because he has Jay Crowder sitting on the freaking couch making $10 million a year, not doing anything. There's rumors that he will be shipped off to Milwaukee for 2 other players in George Hill and maybe a second round pick. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But Phoenix, if they get either Fred VanVleet or OG Anunoby, they're looking pretty damn good because they're pretty weak on the wing side and weak on the guard side because Chris Paul is declining, as they say in the media, but you know, he's always legit in the playoffs, so maybe you want him to stick around, right, rather than trade him. I don't see them trading Chris Paul anytime soon. But if the Phoenix Suns grab OG Anunoby, let's just say that, right, they're looking pretty dangerous because they have a trade asset as in Jay Crowder, and you need to do something with that in the next 10 days. Or is it 9 days? I'm not 100% sure, right? But at the end of the day, those 2 GMs were talking, and it's only a matter of time before something big happens, right? So what do we know about OG Anunoby? I think the minimum here is 3 first-round picks. And Phoenix has those. We definitely know New York Knicks has those. So why not make a deal, right? If I'm the Knicks, I'm doing it. Because you lost out on Donovan Mitchell, but you know, you didn't lose much because, well, you lost some, but you didn't lose much because you got Jalen Brunson, and he's been in like a pretty damn good pickup for the New York Knicks. I think they're currently 5th seed right now, but if they somehow get OG Anunoby, that's a pretty big pickup for them, right? You kind of want to see New York succeed because of the way they're building their structure, and at the end of the day, it's just a matter of time before you see OG Anunoby traded. I don't know that for 100% fact, but the fact that remains is you're getting closer and closer to the trade deadline, and we all know that Woj said whether there'll be buyers or sellers. So far, they're 2-2 on this road trip. So they're currently on the cusp of the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference. Do they just gamble and say, screw it, I'm going to just keep my guys and shoot for the best? Well, the problem with that is Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr. are on player options, and you either extend them or you let them walk, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. I personally think it's either going to be Fred VanVleet that gets traded to the Clippers, and OG Anunoby to either Phoenix or the Knicks. But again, as always, leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you guys think, where OG Anunoby is going to go and where Fred VanVleet is going to go. And do they keep Gary Trent Jr.? I don't know. But Toronto Raptors are the team to look out for as per Bobby Marks. It's just a matter of time. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports.